Let us today begin with that mantra. Mano buddham kara cittani naham nacha shotra jivve nacha grana netri nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. In Veda, it always emphasizes that one should try to understand its own self. Atmanam Viddhi. You must know your own self. That is the goal of a human life. And then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in this modern age, he mentioned in a different way, Ishwar Labh Manushya Jivane Uddeshya. God realization is the goal of every human being. And that we are approaching from different point of view. That particular goal, one goal, to know myself, to know who am I, we are approaching from different paths. One is bhakti, devotion, karma, unselfish work, then jnana through discrimination. Yesterday I was giving that Skype class, I was going on repeating again and again, discrimination. That is very, very important. Otherwise you cannot study Viveka Chudamani. The Viveka means discrimination, and that is the highest point, Viveka. Discrimination. Discrimination from what? From the unreal to the real. And what is unreal? Things that changes. What is real? That never changes. And who can discriminate it? Who has understood from the mouth of a guru, who has read, many people they read. In every university there are philosophy they are studying. Hundreds, thousands every year they are passing out, graduating on philosophy. That won't help. It is only from the mouth of a guru, a person who himself realized that, he can only help. Otherwise not. The discrimination is very difficult. Viveka, that's why our Swami Vivekananda, his name is Vivekananda. He enjoys in discrimination only. Look at that. When he was hungry, his mother, his brothers, they were hungry. There was nothing. They were so rich at that only a few days before, after the passing away of his father, his relatives took away all the property. Suddenly they became poor. There was nothing. And being the elder son, it was his responsibility to look after the family. There was nothing. He tried. Then ultimately went to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna sent him to Goddess Kali and said, Saturday and Tuesday is very good day. Madhubahar is a very good day. You go to Goddess Kali and pray. Whatever you will pray, you will get. Think of it. A young man of 18, 19 years, he is hungry, he needs a job to support his family. He goes to the temple with a faith that things are going to happen. And really he saw the goddess Kali, not the stone image, but the real goddess. He could say just, make me king. He could become king. But he said no. Immediately he understood all these things, whatever I want, I'll be asking is temporary. I don't need it. Tabaiva vaha tabo nitya gite. Long back in the Upanishad, that young boy Nachiketa, he said it to Yama. Now this is called discrimination. And this Vivekananda, this Narendranath, this young man, he said, give me jnana, give me viveka, bhakti, etc. And this is called discrimination, unreal and real. At the time of temptation, we have to stick to that, this viveka. And through the viveka we reach, but there is another way too, that is called yoga. And we were studying how to control the mind. Yoga means saying, to reach to that Atman through samadhi. And to reach to that samadhi, samadhi means totally forgetting this external world, concentrating on that particular self, Brahman, Atman. And in different way, the Patanjali trying to make us very easy to understand. Now we are studying Samadhi, Samadhi Pada. Pada means the chapter, Samadhi Pada. In the beginning, the first chapter is Samadhi Pada, then other things will come. And in the Samadhi Pada, he described what is mind and what are the difficulties that comes to control that mind, and then how to overcome that. And here we have reached, and in one place where he is telling Prachadana Vidharana Pyam Ba Pranasya. This is very, very important. The breathing that we take is only breathing. No, it is the energy. Swami Vivekananda, the last that we were studying, that Vivekananda said, you must remember that this prana is not the breath, but that which causes the breath. When we are taking the prana means it is the power that comes within us. Also said Vivekananda, the word prana is used to express different things like the senses, like the mind. So we have to understand here the prana means that energy which is outside. We are collecting those energy and then utilizing it. Within our body, this prana we call, but there are so many other shaktis, the power that is helping us. How? That is prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. There are 5. This 5 air we say that is protecting our body. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult for us. So this prana we have to understand and we have to control it. How? First he is telling not inhaling when you are exhaling. You have to be very, very careful when you are exhaling this prana. To explain these in the 34 aphorism of the Samadhi Pada, Swami Vivekananda he is telling, prana is that which manifests itself as force and everything else in the way of motion. Prana is that which is manifesting the force and everything that we see in the way of motion. That is called prana. Chitta, the mind stuff, is the engine which draws in the prana from the surroundings and manufacture out of prana the various vital forces, those that keep the body in preservation and thought, will and all other powers. So when you only say that breathing control is only a small part that we are telling, it's not. The prana ayama is very difficult because it is the Shakti, the power that we are taking from outside and controlling. The mind should be on that. So this prana manufacturing apana, vyana, udana, samana, so that the whole body can work. Sometimes we have belching, that is also prana. And whole body, everything that is controlled is by the prana. Vivekananda continued. There are three main passages through which this prana, the current, goes. In the body, there are three main passages. What is that? On the right side of the spinal cord column is the pingala. On the right side, it's called pingala. And in the left side, it is ida. But it crosses like this. In the Yoga Sutra, any book, you will see that it crosses like this. But it begins from the right side. That is called pingala, ida, pingala. Center is the susumna. The susumna is a whole black, and that actually the passage of power. All the yogis, they are giving much stress on the sushumna. Those who have seen the pictures of goddess Kali, they in one picture you will see horrible, very terrible. And the goddess Kali has already shivered her own head and drinking that blood in that mouth. The moment people see that, those who are not accustomed to these, they are terrified. Chinna masta. Chinna means this cut, severed. Masta means the head. And the Chinna masta, that Kali, she is drinking her own blood coming from now Swami Avedananda ji. He is explaining and he is telling whom to tell all these things. Who will understand the wonderful symbol of yoga? In Hinduism, everything is symbolism. And there, through the symbol, trying to explain that when the power comes through the Sushumna, you are mukta. You are liberated when the power comes through the Sushumna. But if it goes through the Ida or Pingala, these two different channels, then there is a chances to come back once again. And that's why these two is going and two other, they are drinking it. That means they will come back again. So this way, they are trying to tell that in this life, if you are practicing yoga, you have to take out that power from that susumna. Slowly, we will learn about that. The ordinary people use Ida and Pingala, but the perfect one uses only Sushumna. Then Hariharananda Aranyak. Hariharananda Aranyak. Now, why the Aranyak? You know, this has no connection with the yoga, but just for the general knowledge, we have Dasanami Sampradaya. Dasa means 10, Nami means name, Sampradaya means a cult, you can say. Now, the sannyasins, the Hindu sannyasins particularly, they were categorized by Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya in 10 different groups. And one of that group is Aranya. They are supposed to be inside the jungle practicing meditation. And ours is, who can say? Puri Sampradaya. And that's why we are here in Chicago. The Puri means who are living in with all Puras in the town and the places where people they live. The Pura means the township, the villages where the people they live. So that is Puri Sampradaya, because the Tota Puri, who was the guru of Sri Ramakrishna, and from Sri Ramakrishna came down all this. So we are also Puris. I am supposed to write Swami Ishatmananda Puri. You have also taken from Puri that there is Brahma Rupananda Puri. We are supposed to write, but because only Ishatmananda, it is difficult for you to pronounce and write, so we don't disturb you. So this is Aranyaka, but he was a great yogi himself. And when he is explaining about this, Harihara Nanda Aranyaka, he says, when excelling, it should be that mind should be totally vacant. We have taken inhaled, and then when exhaling, look at the aphorism, it's not talking about inhaling, it's only talking about exhaling and holding. Prachadana, vidharana. Prachadana means is exhaling out, is the breath is going out, exhaling. And vidharana, holding, vidharana. B means vishesha, which perfectly you have to hold that breath within or that empty within. From here begins the practice part. All these days we were only theoretical, and before this we have already read that how to control the mind. One process is Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam, Sukha Dukkha ittadi ittadi. Those who are happy, we have to make friendship with them. Those who are unhappy, we have to feel sorry for them, we have to pray for them. Like this. Those who are very bad, we have to avoid them. So that way, we have to keep our mind free from all this. That is as mental practices. Now, physically we have to practice. The physical practice of yoga has come now, and here he says prachadana. When you prachadana means exhaling, and that we have to do, Harihara Aranyaka is telling, very, very slowly. And when you are slowly doing it, we have to think that our mind is totally vacant. One of our Swamiji, he was the General Secretary of the order. Whenever there will be some problem, the organization means so many problems. So decision has to be taken. All people are only going to him, writing to him. He is the only person to take the decision. There is a group of people, they will discuss, but decision is taken by the General Secretary. Good, bad, anything, it comes to him. So obviously, and this is a spiritual organization. It is not that any government organization, they have the rules and regulations. Sometimes you have to take your own decision. Some Swami made some mistake. There is a human being, naturally, in the monastic life, made a mistake. What to do? Punishment. And he was all through good. So he has done a little mistake, but that mistake is severe. He has to get some punishment, some further rectification. And for us, they will send us to Uttarkashi. Now Uttarkashi is very good. Everything is available. In the previously, Uttarkashi means nothing. And you have to walk so many miles to get to Braid. That's all. So that was the punishment. Physically you have to practice and all this. Now one Swami, he was asked to practice that austerity, and the president, that General Secretary Swamiji, he has signed that letter, but he thought it's nothing for the Swamis, because we have left our hearth and home and food and all this thing is nothing. But insult, mentally he will go on thinking, oh, what people are thinking about me, that insult. You know, the General Secretary, he posted the letter, and then he was sitting over there for the postman to come to open that box, and requested the postman to give that particular letter once again back to him, so that he opened it, and at the last line he wrote, I will keep contact with you. When the General Secretary says that I will keep contact with you, and it becomes in the mind that the Swami will feel, he is not against me, he has not misunderstood me, that will comfort him. So that way, the decision, when they were asked, Swamiji, how could you take decision so easily? Then he said, the moment all the problem comes, I make my mind vacant. Think of it. Making mind vacant means when you are trying to imagine some god or goddesses or anything, some other thoughts will come. It's never vacant. The most difficult thing to make the mind vacant, I don't like to think anything. It is impossible, almost impossible, very difficult. And that Hariharananda Aranyaka is telling, you have to practice. When you are exhaling slowly, then you have to think, within my mind there is no thought, totally vacant. Now he gives some steps one after another. Exhale slowly and keep the body still. We have taken the inhaling and then exhaling. How? The last time, I think sometime somewhere, I was giving this class on meditation, and as because in the Sunday when you are sitting over here on the chair, it's little difficult, but we will practice. Suppose we sit erect, keep body still. Now let us practice a little according to the process of the Hariharananda Aranyaka. And one gentleman who was very much interested to practice it, he could not come today. Maybe that he is watching from his home. So this is the person, we have to sit and then we have to make our body erect, straight. Then inhaling, almost unconsciously we are taking. But for the people who used to say, count 8 times. Om, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling. Then count 32 times. Holding that breath, that's called kumbhaka, when the pitcher is full with water, 32 times. And after that, when you are exhaling slowly, that is 16 times. And that time you go on repeating Om, 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 Om. So the whole mind will be on the Omkara and you will forget your body consciousness. So the first, exhale slowly and keep the body still. Second, third, try to keep the mind vacant. Then he suggests how to keep the mind vacant, focused on Om at the time of exhalation. So if you practice, then another thing he says, take long time to exhale. Hold the vacant state as long as possible, be dharana. When you have already exhaled, that empty condition you have to go on keeping as long as possible, and inhalation and exhalation should be done with the help of the movement of abdominal muscles. You have seen the Ramdev Baba, he practices that. You have to, when you are taking in, it goes, the belly goes in, and when you are exhaling, slowly you are removing. Like this, in and out of the abdominal muscles, and then you will do. This is the 7th stage. So if we practice, suppose, first we sit erect, slowly we inhale, hold it for some time, if it is possible, 8, 32, 16, then exhaling. When we are exhaling, one thing we have to practice, totally vacant mind. Totally vacant mind. There is nothing. After the exhalation, in that condition, try to be as long as possible. That is called be dharana. Be means vishesha. In a very special way, you have to hold back. So this is the 7th step. And result is, when this is practiced for some time, a happy feeling will come. Feeling of lightness spread all over the body. when practice for a long time will lead to samadhi. See, this is so simple. We are inhaling. Remember, when you are inhaling, just count 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then holding 32 times. And when you are holding, repeating Om, 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 16 plus 16. Then now you are exhaling. When you are exhaling, slowly, and this time also go on repeating Omkara 16 times. And after that, when all the air is out, be still and think that you are totally vacant. This is the practice you have to practice. Swami Vivekananda said, the definition of this world, what is the definition? The infinite existence projected in the plane of consciousness. The infinite existence projected into the plane of consciousness. That is this world. And religion has to deal with this both, the world and the infinite. So when we are practicing yoga, we are practicing religion. And this religion, when you are practicing, we have to understand this is the world, this body belongs to the world, and then it goes to the infinite. And then when it is going to the infinite, we actually go to the real consciousness. From this world of time, space and causation, we have to reach to infinite, and Patanjali suggests another way to do that. Now, we are practicing. In this type of discussion, we cannot exactly practice, but some hints may be given, and we have to practice personally, afterwards privately in your own home. And when you are practicing, anywhere you are practicing, always be conscious that when you are exhaling, you are not conscious about that. The exhaling is going in so slowly and your whole mind is empty. That is the condition again and again we have to practice. When you can continue for a long time, many different things happens. But this is a thing to believe. We have to go on practicing for a long time. So obviously after that only it can happen. So people may lose faith. The Rishi understood it. Now he is giving us a very shortcut so that we get the opportunity to understand that these are all truth. What? Vishaya bhutiba pravritri utpanna manasaha sthiti nibandhani. Sthiti nibandhani means the mind concentrate. Manasa means mind. Sthiti nibandhani, concentrate. How? If there is an object of senses and for that there is a desire. Now, Vishaya bhati, Vishaya means object of senses, and there are 5 objects because our 5 senses are there. What are the 5 senses? Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jivva and Tat. Chakshu means the eye, Karna ear, Nashika nose. Like that, the 5 senses collecting information from outside. And suppose we concentrate our mind on any of it, we get very good result, immediate result. And that will help us to believe that all these things are really true. Yoga is true. Swami Vivekananda is also telling about that concentration that brings extraordinary sense perceptions. That causes perseverance. When we get some experiences, then only we can perceive. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, all his disciples, they are practicing meditation, japa regularly. Sri Ramakrishna is going to the Divine Mother and praying, Ma, sometimes you must give little experiences. If they don't get any experience, how they will get inspiration? So give them something, otherwise inspiration won't come. They may start thinking, oh, all these things bogus, I am practicing for such a long time, nothing is happening. Yoga also, it says, if you can practice, then you will get some experiences. How? Nashikagre dharayato. Nashika means nose, agre, on the tip. Dharayato, holding. Asyaba dibba gandha sambit sa gandha pravitti. Gandha means the smell. And the very good fragrance you will get by concentrating your mind on the tip of your nose. If one concentrates on the tip of the nose, one begins to smell, after a few days, wonderful perfumes. Swami Vivekananda said. Now we have to practice it. And just spraying something, to nowadays so many things are available. We purchase, smell it, spray it, and oh, we are getting good smell. Why should I have to practice so much? See, now, there was a very great saint in Kashi, and the people used to call him the moving Shiva. And Trilanga Swami, he used to go down to the Ganges and used to say, Ganga, I am hungry, give me milk. He used to take out the water, there is the water. The moment he is taking it out, it is becoming milk. And he is drinking, so happy. Other people tried, it is water only. But when he is picking up the water, taking out the water from the same Ganga, milk. Without caring here and there, is simply doing that. Can you imagine Yoga Shakti? That is the power of concentration. Whatever they say, it happens. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave word to his nephew, one of his nephews, that I will go and attend your puja. He was performing Durga Puja. And that time Sri Ramakrishna was in Dakshineshwar. He was in the village almost 150 miles away. And he was thinking how Thakur can come. It's not like the modern days. It should take a long time, almost 7 days to reach over there. And there is no news that he have started. Then the Shashti, the big first day of the Durga Puja, Shaptami over, Ashtami. Then the puja began and he was crying. He was thinking Thakur cannot make it, he won't be able to come. Then suddenly he saw Thakur standing by the side of that Durga Pratima. How it is possible? Yoga Shakti. But Sri Ramakrishna was very conscious not to show it, because people always go for that. Now suppose I could turn the water into milk, do you think we had to hold this type of fundraising dinner? There would have been always the lunch and dinner, because so many funds would have come. Only by turning the water into milk. That is Yoga Shakti, and so difficult to hold. The moment you get a little, it's so difficult. I have heard one of our Swami, he had those power. Another Swami was walking by his side, he developed a little power. Then he saw somebody suffering on the road, and he felt that I should do something to help. So he was trying to concentrate and utter those mantras so that that man could be recovered, helped. He was doing while walking side by side. Immediately this Swami said to him, hey, you have little power and you are practicing that thing over him. He has his own way to go because of the karma. Who are you to disturb the law of nature? You cannot. Don't do that. How could you understand that? So these are all the power of yogas. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, they all were having this but never practiced it. But having the power and not practicing, it requires very strong mind. I am having the power but I am not practicing it. Very, very strong mind. It's very difficult. But still, for our encouragement, the Patanjali and also Swami Vivekananda is telling, if you are not having faith, then you can practice what? Concentrate your mind on the tip of your nose. You will find that some of the yogis, they are sitting and their eyes are coming over here. Both the eyeballs are coming in this and they are looking at the tip of the nose. And they are practicing continuously and they will get this power. Secondly, if you concentrate at the root of the tongue, then you will hear beautiful sounds. That yogis who are concentrating their mind at the root of the tongue, they will go on hearing beautiful sounds. And from long distance also they can hear. So that we will come afterwards. Concentrate on the tip of the tongue, then taste wonderful flavors. If you are having the tip of the tongue, your concentration at the tip of the tongue, wonderful the food you can get. Middle of the tongue, that feels that somebody is coming, something is going to happen, you can tell it. At the middle of the tongue. So the root of the tongue, you hear so many beautiful sounds. And the tip of the tongue, taste. Middle of the tongue, you can understand that something is going to happen. And it is true. And concentrate on the palate, one will see different things. So this is the Patanjali, it says, Vishayabhati va pravitti utpanna manasa nibandhani. Pravitti means the desire. If I have the desire to listen without any mechanism, just by sitting over here, I like to listen from far distance, then this type of concentration. At the root of my tongue, I have to concentrate. You know, those who have read the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, one lady saint came to him to initiate. And she had all this power. She taught 3 disciples. Sri Ramakrishna was the 3rd. There were another 2. But they could not hold that power. One, he could make his body totally light, so light that he could travel in the air. And by that way, when he practiced that, he started doing bad things. Because he could go anywhere, bad things he did. He lost that. Another also, he could not hold, he lost. And the 3rd one was Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He was just like the ocean. All these things are coming, mingling, and no way to understand whether it is there or not. But sometimes he did. How? There is a Swami who made that huge temple, Vivekananda. He was an engineer, architect. And what happens, this Swami Vivekananda, where is the picture? Vivekananda ji. Oh, here. In this, in the first 1, 2, 3, the last one, the Vivekananda sitting. He was very fond of to live in the. And this Vivekananda ji, he was a wrestler. He used to practice wrestling. When he was a student, and he has a huge body. Sri Ramakrishna lean and thin. And the wrestler means if anybody is challenging, he is supposed to accept the challenge. Out of curiosity, young boy of 16, very muscular body, very strong, he went to meet Sri Ramakrishna. And the moment Sri Ramakrishna saw him and immediately challenged him to have a wrestling, this boy was wondering what this man will do with me. In a second, I will just break his all bones. And he was telling, no sir, it is okay, I cannot do that. But Sri Ramakrishna was going on. And if you are beating on your thigh, that means you are challenging a wrestler. In our country, they do that. And a wrestler, when challenged, must go and fight. Sri Ramakrishna was again and again beating the thigh and challenging him. So ultimately, he could not resist himself. He went and hold Sri Ramakrishna, pushed him in the wall. Up to that, it was his. Now, Sri Ramakrishna put only one finger on his chest, and immediately he became motionless. He had no power. Then wrote a mystic mantra of some words on his tongue as an initiation. In different ways, Sri Ramakrishna gave initiation, and he became a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. So the tremendous power, no one can harm the God. So when all people, they were taking care of Swami Vivekananda, again and again he was telling, Swamiji, you should be careful, Swamiji. Swamiji was all right. Then one day he told them, see, no one can harm me because I am protected by one whose power is all pervading. This is Yoga Shakti we cannot imagine. So this way we can also practice. And then again in the 36th aphorism, the Patanjali is telling, after that, Bishokava Jatishmati. Bishokava Jatishmati is a beautiful way he is telling there should not be even an iota of sorrow in the mind. And you are constantly thinking about Yoti, that light within your heart, and concentrate on that heart. Bishokava Jatishmati. In our body, they say, particularly in the Narayana Shukta, Padma Kosha Pratikashagam Hridayam cha Vyadhomukham Adho Nishtha Vitastante Nabhyam Uparitishtati Hridayam Tad Vyajaniyat. Hridaya means the heart. Where is the heart? It says, if you are calculating 12 finger height from your navel upside, if you are calculating like this, 4, 4, 8, 4, 12. That particular place is called heart. And there is a lotus. This lotus is facing downward. Now when you are concentrating, it will open and slowly you can see a light on that. Concentrate on that light. Bishoka va Jatishmati. And very nicely Swami Vivekananda is explaining that when those form of concentration that begin extraordinary sense perception, and then afterwards it says that the effulgent light which is beyond all sorrow. Bishokamani means free of sorrow. Jatishmati means effulgent light. So, Ba means or meditate on the effulgent light which is beyond sorrow. And where it is? Inside the heart. So this is the best way of meditation. All other things, naturally temptation goes. When those power comes, it is very, very difficult to concentrate the mind. And when you are having the power and not utilizing, is a tremendous concentration and the power it needs. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, who can give up Bhagavan Buddha? He was having everything. And what is that everything? Yoga Shakti. He could do so many things, but never did. Even the Jesus Christ, who was walking on the water, could feed the multitude with a bread. He was having yoga shakti, but never applied when they were torturing him. He could do that, but didn't do that. That is the tremendous power, mental power. Ordinary people won't be able to do that. If you are practicing, you are getting a little power, it will be so difficult to control, and thousands will gather before you. All that power will go, again you will back to square one. And in Sanskrit they say Puna Mushika Bhava. Because the one Mushika means the rat. And it was dying, and it came to running to a monk, Rishi, and said, please help me. Why? Because that cat is coming to catch me. Please help me. Rishi, out of compassion, okay, I will make you a dog. So the cats are afraid of dogs, so you can. Then he was very happy. He was chasing all the cats. And suddenly when he was chasing, he reached up to the corner of the forest, and there was a tiger. And the dogs are most favorite food for the tigers. And the tiger wanted to hold that. And he came running and told, sir, please help me. What happened? The tiger is coming. Okay, I will make you lion. Then he made him the lion, very strong lion. He chased the tiger again, and I was very happy. And suddenly one day he was thinking, see, now I am lion. Suppose I kill the rishi, the monk, then nobody will know that I was a rat one day. I was a rat and I have become a lion now. Nobody will know the secret. Let me kill that person, that monk. He came to kill the monk, but monk was having that power. He threw little water on that and said, Puna Mushika Bhava. You become the rat. It became a rat. So we get power, then we misutilize. We go back to that. You see in different phases, in different life, not only in the yoga, but in the world also you will find, particularly the political people, the moment they get all popularity, they forget everything, they become so egoistic. Again they come down on the road and again begging for. So this is we have to be very careful, and now that is why they say the safest thing. What? You try to think the light within your heart. And where is the heart? This Harihara Aranyaka, he said that you must measure just on the top side of the body from your navel 12 fingers. 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 8 and 12. There, imagine that one flower, lotus flower. In India, lotus is very famous. So lotus is a symbol of bhakti, and lotus is a symbol of the Buddhist also, because of the devotion. So this lotus, adhomukham, and the Narayana Shukta it says adhomukham, it is facing towards downward. Then slowly it is opening up. It is turning and then opening up, and you see a jyoti, a light, and concentrate on that. And that is the very good way to concentrate. Vishokava Jatishmati, another way we can do. On the lotus, the petals are upwards, and inside the lotus an effulgent light. This is important. When you are meditating, slowly you are taking up your mind. First you are practicing the breathing exercises, prachadana, vidharana bhyam. When you are exhaling, then holding that condition, thinking that my whole body is totally, mind is totally empty, and my body is relaxed, and I am holding like this. Slowly you think that within the heart, hridaya, that is exactly this position, there is a flower, and all the petals are now turning to upwards and is opening up. Over that effulgent light. It's not this type of lights. It's a wonderful light. When you look at that light, it never hits your eyes. Rather, it comforts. And you slowly, you forget that you are a body-mind complex. You have a human mind. You start thinking that you are also that light. And it goes to all over the world. And then slowly you bring back that mind. Again you feel thinking that you are the body. Then there's wonderful samadhi. Narendranath, when he was a young man of 19, used to go and all the time to Sri Ramakrishna, you have given so many things to so many people and you have not given anything to me. Sri Ramakrishna told, what do you want? Samadhi. So, okay, one day he was meditating in the evening time. Sri Ramakrishna was on the upstairs, the room just below that. He was meditating, this thing happened. He could feel that he had the body, but mind was not attached with the body. And he was shouting, where is my hand? Where is my feet? Where? So that way he was shouting. The one he misunderstood. He thought that he has died and he has become a ghost. And he ran to Sri Ramakrishna and told, Naren has died. Sri Ramakrishna told, let him be there for some time. So like this, we can also feel, not that regularly we can do, but sometimes if we practice, and this is the safest way, to concentrate within the heart on a flower, effulgent light, Bishoka, and there is no sorrow. Jyotishmati, when there is no sorrow within my heart. If your heart is feeling, your mind is feeling some sorrow, some thought is there, I have some duty to perform, I have the responsibility to perform. I was telling you one day, one lady was telling, how can I concentrate, Swamiji? The moment I see it, there is immediately my mobile will go on ringing. I told, if you are not just like the President of America, you can stop the mobile for some time. The mobile will be on, and then also I will meditate, and when the mobile is ringing, I am complaining to those people why they are giving the call, and that's why I could not meditate. Who was asking you not to close that mobile? You just put it off and then see it. So when we are interested, we can find out the time and means also. And if you do that, there is no harm, no side effect. But if you are concentrating on the tip of the nose or the tip of the tongue or over in between the eyebrow or on the top of the head, you get concentration very quickly. But the difficulty is there are side effects. If you are not under the proper guru guidance of a guru, there will be problem. The one gentleman I think I mentioned, nowadays it has become a sort of earning money, the yoga, teachings of yoga. They taught him to practice over here, and this is very dangerous, the most dangerous. The highest yogi only can concentrate on the top of the head. Otherwise, the ordinary people, if they do, and his side effect was he can't sleep. It's so difficult. And then he was telling that I practice yoga, but I can't sleep. I told, then you should be feeling happy. Are you happy? Oh no, I want to sleep. That means this is not yoga. When you are really practicing yoga, the first and foremost thing, your body will be light and you will feel very happy. There should not be a little of sorrow. The Bishoka, Shoka means sorrow, Bishoka, no sorrow. So that is the first precondition of the yoga. Then when you are sitting for meditation, you are meditating in that way and you get that light, and with that you get all happiness. And next sloka, Bitaraga Vishayam Vachittam Shapno Nidra Jnana. Very simple thing Patanjali will give us. When we are sleeping, some dream we see, all these things in the next time we will discuss. Now we will conclude. But before that, if you have any question about these 2-3 things, you can please ask some question. So today we have discussed about 34 and 35, Prachadana, Vidharana. Prachadana, exhaling, and Vidharana, holding the breath. And this is not only the breathing that we take in and take out, it is the power. That power which creates everything to move, that is the power. We are inhaling, we are exhaling, how to do it, etc. Next, Vishayabati ba pravitti utpanna, just to encourage ourselves. If we are not very serious and thinking all these things are bogus, then you can practice this type of concentration and you will get immediate result. Almost immediately. Not that today we are sitting and tomorrow we will get. You have to practice for some time. And what is that? On the tip of your tongue, on the middle of your tongue, at the root of your tongue, on the palate, on the tip of your nose, and in between the eyebrow. If you are practicing concentration, different type of result you will get. And that is excellent type of things that you will hear, you will smell, you will taste. This is only to encouragement. But very good thing is, Bishokava Jatishmati. When you are concentrating without any sorrow on the effulgent light within your heart. So now if you have any question on these 3. Yeah.
Swamiji, you said there are side effects to concentrating on the tip of your nose, etc., etc. So at the same time, you're saying that that is a good way to go, and you can get there, get to the place you want to go. So what is the...
Under the guidance of a guru, if you are doing, and again, you have to keep in mind that I am not totally concentrating on this. My goal is not only to get this type of experiences. This is on the way only I am getting. As our students, when they go, the science students, when they go to the laboratory, so the teachers, they will say, put this white one, another white one, you see it becomes yellow. This is that way to encourage them in the chemistry. So similarly, this is also only to encourage, but that is not the goal. That is what I am telling. But if that becomes the goal, then that creates problem. But the problem, the moment we get that type of power, supernatural power, we become so much attracted to that, we go on practicing that, ultimately we have to fall down. So the goal is to get the samadhi. And these may be some encouragement. Yes. Now, side effect means when we are practicing this not properly, then it may be tremendous headache. You know that one of the direct disciple of Swami Vivekananda, he was a young man, he was very good in mathematics, and when he read this thing from Vivekananda's books, he started practicing meditation on the center of the head and also over here, Birojananda Ji Maharaj. He was a very famous Swami. And then he developed the headache, tremendous headache, and no doctor could cure it. Then naturally, someone suggested, why don't you go to Ma, Sharada Devi. The moment he went over there, Ma looked at him and said, son, where you were concentrating? Then he said, over here and here. No, you should not do that. You better concentrate on the heart. And for some time, don't practice. Let you be sleeping, and then again I will tell you when to practice, and then you should practice on concentration on the heart. Bishokava Jatishmati. Sri Ramakrishna is also telling the heart is danka. Danka means when you are beating the drum, that sound comes. So that way, the heart is the best place to concentrate. All other places one can, but after preparation, lot of preparation, then only slowly it will go. That is the sign. Yeah.
In the past, whenever I go to bed, I sleep in 1 minute or 2 minutes. Home sleep. I started meditating. I was concentrating on my breath.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't sleep.
Mm.
3 hours. I started sleeping from 10 o'clock, sleep at 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then I considered a heart.
Mm.
I can sleep.
You can sleep.
I didn't know what you told today.
Right. So this is the practical experience, you see. Perhaps you all heard. Then when he was concentrating on the breathing, he couldn't sleep. But when he concentrated on the heart, he could sleep. So that side effect that you were telling, so it immediately happens. So that gentleman, he's suffering so much. I told for some time, you should not try to meditate. Rather, you better see some movies, hilarious readings, and you have to take out your mind from there, and then afterwards, under the guidance of the proper guru, you can. Why you practices over there? What you wanted to get? So people are very curious to get some miraculous power. What miraculous power will help us? Now I will conclude by telling the story of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He used to say this just to imprint within our mind, to give impression in our mind that we should not concentrate to get this type of supernatural power. It comes automatically, but one should not. Then he said, two brothers. One, he became a householder. He had land, he used to cultivate. And another brother, he went in the jungle practicing meditation. And he practiced for 12 years, came back to his brother and said, hey, you are still cultivating this and doing all these ordinary things. You know, I have developed a wonderful power. What? Come, I will show you. He took the brother to the river and told, can you follow me? Look at me. And he was walking on the water. And there was a ferry boat. Second brother hired the ferry boat and was going at his back. When both the brothers reached the other shore, then the second brother told, brother, after 12 years of practicing austerity, you have earned only 4 anna. 4 anna means only 4, it's called quarter or something. That much. I paid only 4 anna to the boatman, I crossed the river, that is also comfortably, and now you are walking on the water only to save this little money. So that way he wanted to impress Sri Ramakrishna, don't make that is your goal. No. Our goal is to reach to Samadhi. In between this may come, but don't concentrate on that. That is the thing. Any other question? Okay. I think we should conclude. Please repeat after me. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam navasangatam naiva muktirnameya chidananda rupa shivoham 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 shivoham. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Friends, you must be knowing that this month Swami Brahmarupananda ji will be giving a retreat at Ganges. If you are interested to go to Ganges, it's a beautiful place. and the retreat will be also very good, very enlightening. You will learn so many things. So if you have not registered, you can go online to register for that. And that Sunday, of course, another Swami is coming, very senior Swami, Aphorisms ji from Berkeley. That Sunday morning, 11 to 12, he will give a discourse over here on Swami Vivekananda. Understanding Swami Vivekananda, that is the topic. We will send you, those who are having your addresses, email addresses with us, you will be receiving once again. Thank you very much for coming.